It's Katherine Skaggs again, and we are going to do a Mythical Goddess Tarot reading on this new moon energy that's in Taurus. From some of the astrology I've been reading, it sounds like it's a very good time, not only for new beginnings, which every new moon is, but also for igniting a new path. I don't know about you, but the last months have been a time of going into the cave, being able to look at patterns that want to die, kill off, honor, and let go of, and to come into a full reset. So I've been welcoming spring and doing some spring cleaning myself on a lot of levels. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the cards might say that'll help us to bring our dreams to earth. They'll help us to go full on into reset. I'm going to ask the goddesses to help us see who we are, how amazing we are, what our gifts are, and what support do we need at this time to have some really good outcomes and to enjoy the changes. So I'm going to do a 15 card spread. I'd like to take a look at who we are, what our big picture is coming up, what our challenges or lessons are, what action we need to take, and what outcomes we have if we can proceed forward in these times. Okay, let's see. It's very cool. Right at the center of the spread is Yamaya, and she is this beautiful Caribbean goddess of the oceans. And these three cards at the center are all about who we are in regards to these times we're in, and what that has to do with this particular question of how to engage these new moon energies. So Yamaya is telling us that we really are the psychic ones, we're the oracles. And as we come into this time, it's really good for us to own that watery nature of who we are. It's actually ultimate divine power of knowing and of reflection, and the power of our emotions also to be a healing tool as part of our own psychic senses. So let's engage this Yamaya energy for renewal and internal spaces of healing emotionally, as well as trusting what we know at the deepest divine levels. Another piece that's really important, I know that I like seeing this card, it's card of completion. We have come through the fire. We have come through many changes and are at a point of letting go of one stage so that we can truly move clearly into a new way of being. It is renewal time. It is time to move forward. Let's own the wisdom that we have from our experiences. Let's be compassionate and powerful in all that we've shifted through, and know that we are done with some things that no longer serve us, which allows us to really own our power and to own our value, to really know who we are. The Wheel of Fortune card is the Hindu goddess Lakshmi, the beautiful goddess of fortune, of bringing heaven to earth. So that's another good sign as we move into a time of renewal to bring in new ways of being, to ground our hopes and dreams in, is that we have divine help to bring in this highest quality of riches within ourselves, within our lives, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. So I like seeing Lakshmi. She says anything is possible. Let's take advantage of this new cycle and move into great abundance within and without. Good cards to begin with. So the next three cards have to do with the big picture, the overview of this next cycle. And at the center we have the card Nurturance. So it tells me as we move into this new time, it's really important that we do tend our gardens. Springtime, it's a great time to go out and be physically on the earth, have our hands in the dirt, clean out the weeds of the last seasons. I've got that coming up this weekend. And not only do that physically, but let's plant that fertilization, new seeds, and nurture our souls. Let's nurture our minds and our bodies and our emotions. It's time in this big picture to use this cycle to plant seeds of great new beginnings and give them attention. Take time and give your body attention. Give your heart and soul attention. Give your relationships attention. And nurture what you would like to see happen. Nurture the beauty in your life so it can blossom and be everywhere and affect everything. So beauty is a good thing to be engaged with. Bring it to earth, bring it to ground. We also have a card of warning in this next cycle. And this is a card of the mind, the 10 of wind. It's a card of illusion. And this particular card, I always laughed at. It's kind of cute and funny. It's a little girl hunkered down because she's afraid all the rain's going to come and it's going to be hard. She's looking at her shadow. But there's only 10 drops of rain. And there's a lot of sunshine that's actually casting the shadow. So it's really important not to get lost in any fears or doubts that you may have going on at this time. Turn around, look at the sun, shift your perspective, be grateful. Take a look at, no matter the challenges you're going through, how much good is there and how protected you are, and also how guided you are. It really is a time to shift your perspective and not get lost in the illusions of the mind. And if you're going to nurture that heart and body and life that you have, you literally just move your attention from all that mental chatter and get down into your body and focus on beauty. So the next card that's in the overview has to do with gifts from the angels. This fire card is an ace, and the aces always tell us that we have divine guidance and protection from above, many blessings and gifts. And it being an illumination card, this image in this card has to do with coming through challenges, using the fire to be illuminated, to bring your light back. That I like looking at this card because I know the backstory. The backstory has to do with absolutely transmuting anything that's been challenging and dark and allowing it to bring you into an awakened state of being. So in the big picture, those illusions that you're moving through or this past cycle is offering you up a transformative way of being where you're much more awake, much more enlightened, and on fire. So that's a really good thing to ignite your passions and to know that you've got gifts from the angels as you come into this next cycle. Call upon them. Let them support you. Be in light. Okay, we got a couple more wind cards as we go through our challenges. So this next month, your lessons or your challenges have to do with calming that mind. The mental suit is the one with the most challenges in our human journey. Our mind can really mess with us. And this particular card being in the challenges says that we get to work with any places that we've been confused and to offer them up to spirit, to let them go, to know that when you can't figure it out, it's time to sit and meditate. It's time to go take a walk in nature. It's time to lay it down and know that there is no figuring out. It's a time to offer that confusion and that concern or fear to spirit and perhaps do some ritual ceremony to let it go so that you can move back to your heart. This is also a warning card to get out of your head and to move to a place that the heart speaks, to compassion and kindness, to generosity and love, and to call that to you, to be a place of shift. The other mental card that shows up in the center of our lessons is patience. So whatever you're working on in your life to bring hopes, dreams, good things to your life, I want you to take a look at how you sit and be still and know the truth. How you trust that you're truly 9.5 months pregnant and that you are manifesting your hopes and dreams in a breath. It's right here. Get the baby's room ready for whatever you're creating in your life. Know that you do all that prep work, or maybe you've already done that prep work, and that you enjoy that, you bless it, and you recognize that Spirit is telling you that everything's in balance, you're exactly where you need to be, and all things are coming in due time. So get out of linear time and be present and still and appreciate that everything is being given. All right, the other piece that's up for us to engage and to be clear about or to jump into is joy. This is a heart-centered card. It's an emotional suit card. It's the 9 of water or seas. And this card is one where we get to really look at how we jump at. Actually, let's change that language. Let's engage our heart spaces. How do you celebrate? Be in joy. It's time to play. take time this month to open your heart and to engage your relationships, your friendships, the things you love to experience, and bring yourself into a place of opening the light in your heart so that you can really be in the vibration of joy. It's a good thing to have on the horizon as we're moving through these mental challenges. Okay, what action do we take? Well, we've got some more fire showing up in the action, and we have the expression card right at the center of the three images here. And this is telling us it's time to engage your creativity. One of the best things for you to help you nurture yourself and move into the new cycle is to have action of dance, singing, get some art out and play. How do you bring the colors out in your life? Where do you express yourself? Is it writing? Is it singing? Bring out all the creative arts and let that inspire you to help you bring your life to earth, your dreams and hopes to earth. It's a really fun card. The other piece is delight. So again, bring the light in to delight yourself. Illuminate yourself through joy and practices, play that lightens up your life. I also look at this card and think of it being a Hayoka or clown card. We've had a play on words, delight, and through your playfulness, get past that serious mind and get to that place where you light up your world through laughter and joy and joyful relationships, joyful actions. Now, with all that creativity and fire, guess what? It's time to finish up the death process. We have Kali here to help us compost all these old cycles that we're here to complete. She is actually a very beautiful Hindu goddess who is very sacred and protective. She protects us from our own egos and our fears and all the ways we get stuck in our old patterns and our old stories. So it's time to possibly use that creativity also in a way to compost old patterns, to compost your old stories. What stories limit you? What can you do to let go and to give away, or to create a ritual where you identify a pattern and you give it back to spirit? Give it to Kali, let her compost that. She is a powerful ally of death, and death is a powerful ally for our souls to evolve and to come into new cycles. She's actually this beautiful goddess underneath this exterior who's there with nothing but love and compassion. It's a good thing for us to engage in ourselves. So if we engage these patterns and these options of what we're being guided to in this new moon energy, the outcome is joy. This is another beautiful goddess. She's a Shinto goddess named Uzume, and she's the Fool card in the deck. And she is actually this great goddess of laughter and mirth. She's here to teach us about not taking life so seriously. And as we move through this, make our changes and come into new cycles, we can find ourselves laughing and playing and not being affected by these outer illusionary circumstances that make the world look so difficult. So engage your inner fool and Uzume, your laughter, and know that this is the potent outcome as you let go of the past and challenges and you move into your heart's desires. An interesting piece that's up in your outcome is the denial card. Now, does that mean that you're going to be denied and in a trance as you come out of this? I think what this always means to me when I find a card like this in the outcome is that we have an opportunity to move beyond and heal the places that we've been in denial of ourselves, any places that we've walled off emotionally or mentally, any places that we've hidden away from ourselves, been in a swamp emotionally. That is totally up for us to heal over this next cycle as we come into our new hopes, dreams, and work with these energies of this moon. It's time that we heal any emotional places that have kept us in a trance state. And so I think this is also emotional trauma that's up to be healed, where you can come into that joy state emotionally, where you can find yourself as Uzume dancing and not taking life so seriously. So now this is on the chopping block so that you can bring in healing for your heart space and your emotional self. And the last goddess that's showing up in the reading is Morgan Le Fay. She is the sorceress. And I feel like she and Uzume are sitting here telling us that we have the opportunity to come more and more into our divine selves, the ones who are light and full of laughter and mirth. And Morgan Le Fay is also telling us that this is a time that we are being offered to come into relationship with the magic of the earth, the elementals, and ourself as the one who's the sorceress, or the one who accesses source, spirit, the divine, and can bring that magic into all of our lives. So I hope that this supports you in coming forward into your heart spaces and your magical selves, and inspires you to look forward to great joy and to do your work. Do some rituals to let go, nurture yourself, and take yourself lightly and lighten up the world around you as you lighten your heart. Many blessings.